Good evening, or if you're watching me live, it's good evening. If you're catching the replay, I appreciate your time that you spend with me watching it live or watching the replay. This is Darla Tweeten, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. And I come to you live every other Tuesday night. So this is Tuesday, August 12th. Can you believe that? Already, we're in the middle of August. We're having the Iowa State Fair here in Iowa, and let me see if I can do this. It might be scary, okay? But I have on my Iowa State Fair shirt. What do you think of that? Every year they come out with, I don't know, anywhere from probably 3 or 4 different shirts. And this year, since I am retired now, and my sister also, she's retired, we always threatened our families that when we retired, we would volunteer at the Iowa State Fair. So we had to keep our word, and we did volunteer for the first time this year at the Iowa State Fair, which is about 90 miles south of us where we live. So it's just a nice little drive, but we volunteered in the merchandising area. So I got to see firsthand all the new stuff. I got to learn how to run people's credit cards through a computer system called Clover. And I have to admit, it was kind of scary at first because everything was on the computer, and you had to choose like the type of shirt it was. Like, let's say this shirt was black icon. That's what I would look for on the little squares on the computer. And then once that came up, I had to then choose if it was a youth small, a youth medium, or those are just a couple examples, or a medium, or an extra large, or a 3XL, because we were also doing inventory at the same time. So thank you for watching, Nancy. Appreciate you. So we did volunteer 4 hours in the merch area of the Iowa State Fair. And I have to admit, the time went really fast, and we are going to do that again next year if they will accept us, because you have to be accepted, you know. And then when we got done with that shift, then we went straight to selling bottles of water for $3. And this all goes to the Blue Ribbon Foundation of the Iowa State Fair that you volunteer for. And all of the money is put back into the state fairgrounds and things like that. So I believe in the Iowa State Fair. I believe in any kind of fair, because I myself, I was a 4-H'er, and I learned so much through the 4-H program. And I want my grandsons to have those same opportunities. I actually want any youth that wants to be in 4-H, FFA, or be a volunteer, just be involved with livestock, learning how to keep records in a record book, maybe taking pictures of their favorite animals, their favorite day trips, and take those as exhibits to the fair. I highly encourage that. So enough about that. What do you guys think of my shirt? Did you like it? It's really soft. It's 50% polyester. At first I was not going to get it just simply because it was black, you know. Black on a 90, 100 degree day isn't always a smart move, but they are lightweight. So I am going to really fast turn around here to make sure that my video is the right way. So I usually do this after I face the camera down, but you know what? Once in a while, you do things in a different way, don't you? Especially when you've been at the fair for, let's see, we were there Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Tuesday. So, okay. Well, if you are just joining me, this is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. And I love what I do. Since I've retired, this is my job now. I work with paper crafts, and that is very enjoyable, using all the different colors of that Stampin' Up! Has in inks, you know, papers. And I love especially to coach people. I love to share my passion with them and get them as excited about paper as I am. So while I turn my camera down, why don't you, if you get dizzy, close your eyes. And if you want to be daring, go ahead and like and share this video. I'm going to reverse the camera here. Okay, and then I'm going to move my stand up just a little bit so that you can see my workspace. So I always have to fiddle just a little bit with my camera to get everything in line. So we're going to leave it about right there. Right now we currently have only one catalog, which is the annual catalog, and you can see that's laying on my work surface. Pretty soon, come the 1st of September, we will actually be able to show our new mini catalog, which used to be called the holiday catalog, but now it's just called a mini catalog. So anyway, again, thank you for watching me tonight. And Nancy, I want to give you several big shout outs for sending me this beautiful card that she created. Nancy and I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 other gals, we are on an accountability team, which basically keeps us all inspired, keeps us all motivated. We set goals and we share our wins and we share our obstacles. And when I share like my obstacle, Nancy or another accountability partner will say, Darla, how about looking at it this way? Have you ever looked at it this way? So kudos to accountability teams. They're wonderful. So anyway, Nancy lives real far away from me. She lives in Massachusetts, and I cannot say that state name, but I want to give Nancy credit for preparing this card, and she used the banner dies, and so that's where that was my inspiration for this live video tonight. But I really love, it says here, let's get this party started. So I'm pretending I'm opening this about, I don't know, 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, because so I can be home by 9. Ha ha ha. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to put this card off to the side because it is truly my inspiration for this live. And if you have your annual catalog handy, why don't you turn to page 86 in that catalog? There you will find the party die bundles, okay? And I would highly recommend you buying them both at the same time, the alphabet and the dies, because you save 10%. Now, yes, it is quite an investment. They do, the normal price is $139, But if you buy them together as a bundle, you will save 10%. So that brings your cost down to $125. Now let's talk about how maybe that could be even a little less for you. Obviously, the first thing that comes to my mind is you could sign up to be a demonstrator, be on my team, Tweet Be Happy. When you sign up to become a demonstrator, you get 20% off all of your purchases after you purchase the $99 starter kit. Okay, that's the first way that you can get these party dies at a better savings. The second way is every time you place an order with Stampin' Up, you have an opportunity, if you've opted in, to receive a 10% reward. So what that is they will take 10% of your product total and they will put it in a bank for you, and then you can use it on a future purchase. And those rewards are good for 1 year. So like I was saying, if you've placed several orders with me and you've got your bank kind of built up, you could use your rewards and get this at a better price or at a savings. It's totally up to you how you want to spend your rewards. You can spend them as you go, or you can save up for something really nice. In this case, I think this would be a nice bundle. Now these letters, the largest die is 2 inches tall. 2 by 1, almost 3 by 2 inches, okay, each one of these letters, okay. But tonight we're going to be using the party banner dies, and there are 20 dies in this set. So there again, it's on page 86. Put a sticky note there to please consider purchasing the party dies bundle. Now tonight we are going to be using the dies 5, 6, 7, and 11, okay? So that would be these 4 dies that I've pulled off of the 20-some dies, okay? So what we're going to do to begin with is I have a piece of old olive cardstock that I have cut with the die cut. How did I do that? Let me show you how I did that. I ran it through our cut and emboss machine, and normally the top of the die you would want to put it on the cardstock so that it would cut through. In this case, you're going to put it so it is on above the fold, okay? So that way when you run it through your die cutting machine, it is only going to cut the sides and the banner. And if you've done it right, your card will open up like this. Isn't that fun? So this is a card layout. Normally your cards are, straight across, but this time you're going to have a banner. So the next step I've done is I've cut some designer series paper, and I've used the number 7 die, which is this one right here, I believe. So I ran that through the cut and emboss machine. Did you know that when you're running DSP through the die and emboss machine, you can run 2 sheets of DSP through? So that's what I did. Now, when you run it through the machine, you end up with 2 pieces, like I said, but also there's 2 sides. So you can choose if you want to have, I'm going to call side B, or you can choose side A, okay? We are going to make 2 cards tonight, and we're going to use both sides. So let's begin by using the side A right now, which is the floral side. And this designer series paper is the Floral Impressions. It is an online exclusive, And this is my third time demoing this DSP because I just love it. It's so versatile. I do have several masculine birthdays coming up in September, so that's why I'm going to do one with side A, and then the second card we're going to do with side B. Okay, so and then I did cut the inside of the card the same size. Excuse me. I could feel that sneeze coming, but it sure took its time getting here. So let's go ahead and start on this card. I have also taken the 11th die onto basic white cardstock, and I have trimmed one of those out. There again, you can cut 2 at a time. So what we're going to do with this basic white cardstock, we're going to create, you can create any kind of card that you want. I am going to be creating a sympathy card, I believe. I need to get some in the mail, and unfortunately I'm going to move these dies out of the way so that I don't lose them. And one just fell on the floor. Just a minute, let me pick it up. If you are just joining me, thank you for joining me tonight. And this is Darla Tweeten with tweetbehappy, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. So the color that we're going to use is, we're going to use Old Olive, I believe, this time. So this is an older ink pad. Sometimes I like the older pads better, and sometimes I like the newer pads better. So I have not replaced my Old Olive yet. I'm still using my old ink pad. So like I've always told you guys, this particular, I do need to ink up this Old Olive. Every time I use it, I think, okay, Darla, when you get done, remember to ink it up. And I still didn't do it. So you want to, tap 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then you want to go straight down on your cardstock. Hold it there for just a little bit so that the ink gets absorbed into the cardstock. Then you always need to close your ink pads and put them away so that you keep your work surface as neat as possible. And at the same time, take your chamois and just gently, move your ink, your stamp in that to remove the ink, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we have with Deepest Sympathy. I think that's kind of, it looks like it might be a little crooked on there, but we're going to go ahead and use it. So it is a sympathy card. So what we're going to do is go ahead and stamp some flowers on it from the Impressions of Bloom stamp set. That is, with Deepest Sympathy came from this new set that's going to be available in September, Peace on Earth. It comes as a Christmas, but it's also got some other things that you can use all year long. Heartfelt prayers, and with the Deepest Sympathy. So I am showing that to you tonight because I am going to be offering a Christmas card class here shortly. So that will be the set that we will be using. So there again, a sympathy card to me needs to be, soft, not real bold. So I'm stamping 2nd generation on these little flowers here. Okay, I'm cleaning off my stamp, and normally I would put the yellow duckling as the center of these flowers. But let's see what other color I may use. I'm going to go ahead and use the old olive ink pad as the center, just because I use that on the sentiment. And if I stamp off 1, 2 times, it'll be, I think that'll be fine. 1, 2. So stamp a 3rd time in the center, and it's kind of hard to get it exactly in the center when you've got a phone in your way. But anyway, I think I did okay. What do you think? Okay, so there is the center. I'm gonna wash off my stamp here real fast. Close up my ink pad. Okay, now is something that Nancy did on her card that I'm going to show you tonight. And what I'm going to do is we have these little punches. They're hole punch assortments. So they're an online exclusive. You get 3 little stamps or punches. I'm a punch girl. Those of you that have watched me before know that. So I'm going to go ahead and punch 2 holes in this banner. Okay? They have different, you can see different sizes of punches that you could have. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to use some linen thread, and I'm trying to decide what color of linen thread I should use. Excuse me a minute. My nose was running and I didn't want to sound nasally. I noticed while we were down at the fair that there was something that was kicking up my allergies, and Lord knows what it was when you're down there at the fair. You know, you're around everything possible, you know, from vegetables to animals. You know, they're all down there at the fair, let alone the wind and the dirt that gets, you know, thrown around. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to string the linen thread through the front, and then I'm just going to tie a little knot in it. Now there again, on my samples, I did not do this, so I don't know, maybe I will wish I hadn't have done this, I'm not sure. But I want to try it, because before, when I had my linen thread in there, it seemed to cover up a lot of the words. So obviously I was a little scotch when I cut this. I should have given myself some more length, but I didn't. We'll make do with what we have here. Go ahead and, you know, sometimes just tying a knot on live on the camera is kind of hard. A bow definitely, but a knot sometimes is hard too. So I'm going to go ahead and trim the longer side off, and you can see, oh, I bet I better tie 2 knots. Well, for right now, I'm just going to leave the 1 knot. I'll tie the second knot after this live is over. So I'm just going to kind of shred the linen thread. I like that look. And what we're going to do, so this is the banner now that we are going to be hanging from this other banner. So I'm going to reach up here and just grab a piece of tape. My calendar fell down when I grabbed the tape. That's okay. So I think we're going to put it about right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, with the Scotch tape, I'm going to tape the tape down in the back, okay? Something like that. So this will be free, you know, it'll be able to just kind of hang around wherever it wants to hang, okay? The next step we're going to do is we are going to get our adhesive. And I like the Seal Plus. Here in Iowa, we have a lot of humidity. So I want to make sure that my cards stay together. So that's why I use the Seal Plus. Then go ahead and put it on the front of your card. Something like this. What do you think? I like to splatter things, and what that means is I will take my marker and just kind of add some personality to the you know, it keeps the white from being so stark. I'm going to go ahead and just put this piece of scratch paper underneath here. It's obviously not big enough, but it will work. And then take the marker end of your card and just flick some color on there. Now I am using cloud cover. And then I'm going to go ahead and just carry that theme through to the inside of the card. So this is the front of the card. Let's go ahead and put some embellishments on it. And I am going to be using the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems. I love this Take Your Pick tool. I do not have nails, so this serves as my nails. So I'm using the putty end of the Take Your Pick tool. It grabs the gems very, very nicely. So let's go ahead. Another thing that I know I've shared before is if you pull this whole sheet out, you can actually lay it on top of your cards to help you decide which color you'd like to use. I'm going to use the darker gems on this card. Sometimes the bigger ones don't come off as easily. And I'm going to put those in the center of my flowers that I stamped earlier. And then the smaller one I'm going to put down there. Now keep it, it kind of looks like a set of eyes. I don't know if I like that. But that's what we got for right now. So this, and then I like to fold up the end of my banner just to give it some, looks like it's been, you know, to break down the fibers. Looks like it's been used and loved, and I don't know, I just think it gives it some personality. So that is the front of our card with Deepest Sympathy. Let's go ahead and do the inside of the card. Now, if you want to, which I do want to, I want to carry the greetings of this card from the front to the inside. So what I've taken is a small strip of DSP. I am going to put that at the top of our label banner, that I cut, okay? And I knew darn well that I was going to have to cut some of that off, and why I ran the adhesive all the way to the end, I don't know. But just take your scissors and cut it off, something like this. Now, if you want to, you can stamp a sentiment on the inside of this card. You know, we are using this Peace on Earth, and I don't think there's really an appropriate one. You know, I could put love, or I could put peace, love, and joy. I'm not going to put anything in there right now because I do not know who I'm going to be, you know, addressing this card to. So for right now, I'm just going to leave it blank. I'm not going to stamp anything on it. I can stamp it later if I'd like to. So let's go ahead and put the coordinating banner inside of this banner layout card. What do you think? And I may end up putting a glue dot or something on there. Right now I'm just going to leave it loose. I know I need to tie some more knots. But so this is the card. This is our first card that I made tonight using Nancy's card. Now, when Nancy made her card, if you noticed, it opened up like a hamburger style. Okay? And mine is opening up hot dog style. So that is the beauty of swapping with other stampers. You get ideas, and you can create the card exactly like the creator did. Which if somebody copies a card that I made, I take that as a huge compliment. And that's one of the reasons we do swaps, is so that people can either copy it just as it is or put their own little flair on it. So that is our first card tonight, with Deepest Sympathy, using the party banner dies. So they were very easy to cut out on the embossing, the embossing tool. Okay, let's move into our second card. Remember, I told you that I did cut 2 of them out of the old olive cardstock, okay? And this one we're going to make a masculine card for by using the side B. That's how we're going to get that done. Actually, it doesn't necessarily have to only be a masculine card. It could be anybody's card that you feel it would be appropriate for. So let's go ahead and so what we'll do here is let's go ahead and decorate our small label, which is the 11th die. And I believe I wanted to do, we do have some birthdays coming up, and this one just barely fits on this die. Let's go ahead and try it and see how good I am at stamping tonight. Now this happy birthday to you actually came from the Party Piggy. So it's this one right here, happy birthday to you. And the to you is on there, but we're only going to do the happy birthday. Now, how do you think you would go about doing that? Well, let me show you. We're going to pull out the old olive ink pad again. And when you do that, just kind of turn your ink to the side and just gently ink up the first line. And always give it a try to make sure you've done it. There again, this darn pad needs to be inked up. I think I'm going to, so that Darla remembers to do that, I am going to press a little bit harder into this ink pad. And when I get done with this live, I'm going to throw it not throw it, but I'm going to put it in the middle of my path, leaving this room, so that I will remember to ink it up. And you guys challenge me. The next time you see me or make a post, say, hey Darla, did you re-ink your old olive ink pad? That'll get me to get it done too. So there we are, the happy birthday. The Y is a little bit off. Let's go ahead and there's 2 sides to every piece of cardstock. So let's go ahead and try it again. I don't want to, I'm stamping a little bit harder than normal. So let's go ahead and try this again. I think what I need to do is I need to have a darker surface so that I can see exactly what I am, stamping on. Now, keep in mind, when you do the back side of this, it is a little beveled on the front, but the recipient will not know that, well, they might if you don't adhere it down, which we will have to be sure and adhere it down. Yoo-hoo! We did it. How's that look, guys? So I'm going to reach over here. I'm going to clean off my stamp. And I'm going to close my ink pad. And since I have somebody in mind for this card, I'm going to keep it on the plainer side. I'm not going to like do a flower or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and I will again use the label. What are these called? I will use one of the hole punch assortments and punch some holes in the top of this. Sure beats, until I got this, I used to always take my take your pick tool and push it through the cardstock. It did do a good job, but you had to really press on it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw those two little negatives into my garbage bag. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some more twine over here. And there again, I can use blue or I can use this brown. I'm thinking I'm going to use this. I don't know if it's Early Espresso. I'm not really sure what the color is. It's with the Nest of Winter Sweet. Oh, I guess it's Copper Clay. So that's an old color. That was in color that just retired. Will this be long enough? Nope, I'm not going to take that chance again. I'm going to have it be, get a longer piece here. Isn't this fun? Look at what a mess this is. By the time I get this unthreaded, I probably will have the same size as the piece that is already pre-cut. Already I know it's a little bit longer than that, so we'll be okay. So let's go ahead, and it looks like right there it's coming through. There again, Darla has no nails. And when somebody asks you, hey, what's Darla been up to? You can say now, oh, she's been untangling her twine. It's a mess. And if we put it right back in the bag again, it's all nice and neat, isn't it? So, okay, I'm trying to decide this time how I want to do my twine. I think I'm going to do, kind of do it more like Nancy had done it on her card. And what she's done is she has strung it through the front, something like this. And so maybe I wouldn't have needed this longer one now because I'm not going to tie knots in it. Oh well. So go ahead and string it through something like that. And then what she did was she laid it on her piece of DSP. She took, I don't know if she took tape or not. I assume she might have. But it goes off to the side, something like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Scotch tape and tape it to the back of the DSP, something like this. And then you can let it hang down or be as tight as you would like it to be. I'm going to try and keep it as straight as possible, obviously. There are lines, and to keep it centered, so something like this. So we do have some extra twine on this. Let's just go ahead and cut it off. And then what we're going to do is we are going to adhere this to the front of our card. Now, this would be what I consider to be a simple card. It doesn't have a lot of stamping on it, but it has a big punch with how it looks. It looks very, very elegant, very rich, very masculine. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did earlier you know, with my splatters, it's a masculine card. So to make it a little bit more masculine, I think I need to find my old olive. And I don't know where my old olive is. I have lots of choices here. Let's see if this is, oh goodness. I found the light old olive. So let's go ahead and spritz this a little bit. I am not going to put any gems on it. I'm just going to leave it simple like that. I'm going to continue the party from the outside to the inside by doing the splatter, something like that. And this is the light old olive blending brush that I just sprinkled with, splattered with. Okay, so now something fun to do. This is actually the negative of my paper when I cut this out. Let's see if we can use it on the top of this card. I believe we can. We can use it something like that. But I need to trim it down just a little bit. It's a little bit too wide. So let's trim it down so that it's about a ½ inch. What do you think? Does that look good? So we'll trim it something like that. I trimmed it down with the paper trimmer. And let's go ahead and put it at the top of our banner here for the inside. And I am going to put the adhesive on the top of the white piece because I'm not really sure where to put it on the green and to have it be even with the banner at the bottom. So then flip it over, trim off the excess on both sides, and voila, you got a coordinating inside that, you know, coordinates with the front. So let's go ahead and take our Seal Plus. One thing I found out with the Seal Plus, the lighter handed you are with this, the better it flows. And also when my surface is flat and harder, I also have better luck with the adhesive, you know, flowing nicely. At one time, I had a double of a time with it, and I think I was doing it like maybe on top of this piercing mat. Don't do that. You need to have it be as flat and as hard as possible. Okay, so this is our second card. So there again, very simple, but very elegant, delivers a punch. It can be, you know, a nice birthday card. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a little pocket in here for money, if you want to give a money or a gift card. And like I told you, we don't want them to know that we did a boo-boo on the back side, do we? So let's go ahead and take a couple of glue dots and adhere this down. So just kind of lift it up and put the glue dot right there. And let's go ahead and do two. I probably could have just did one and did it in the center, but I'm gonna do two, okay? So there. So when they open it up, it's secure, and they will not see this the side A, and they won't even know that we're doing side B. Okay, so that's the second card that we've done with the old olive, with the floral impressions DSP. Now keep in mind, right now Stampin' Up! Is having a 15% off any product with in colors in the in the product. So this paper here has a couple of the new in colors in it. It's got Darling Duckling, and it's got the strawberry slush colors in there, okay? Even though we did not use Darling, well, yeah, we did use Darling Duckling. Remember, on the sympathy card, I used the Darling Duckling. So this is a great opportunity to save 15% on any product that has an in color in it. Now that also includes, you know, any of the ink pads that maybe you've been waiting to get. There's 5 new in colors. There is, you know, cloud cover. Well, the cloud cover isn't available as an ink pad, so you can get 4 of them: the Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, and Darling Duckling. Those colors are available, and you would have to get a spot or get a white blank pad and then buy an ink refill of cloud cover, and then you would have 4 pads, okay? So also that would include any of the blends. And the blends, there is a cloud cover blend, light and dark. You could always, if you did not have the ink, you could always take the brush end of the marker and you could color your stamp. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. And then after you get done with the marker, I always advise people to kind of huff on it, and then that reactivates the ink. And I must not have, I didn't do it well. Let's do it again. And keep in mind too, I'm using the light. Let's see if the dark would be better. I did not practice this, so I'm going to wipe this off on my pants to make it dry. There again, if you are just joining me, this is Darla Tweeten with Tweet Be Happy. I come to you live every other Tuesday night, and this is Tuesday, August 12th, and my next live is August 26th. That is the day after school starts here. Our schools all start here on Monday, the 25th. So, okay, let's go ahead and breathe on this to reactivate it. Maybe I didn't hold it long enough. Maybe this, okay? So there. It's a pretty color, isn't it? So just a different way that you can use your blends too. You can use them on your stamps. Okay, I have one more card here that I want to show you tonight. I did want to use an in color cardstock. This is Strawberry Slush, and what I'm going to do is, this would be a normal card layout. I am going to go ahead and use the white banner, which is number 7 of the banner dies, and I'm going to use the number 11, and that goes from the biggest to the smallest. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is this one, and then 8, 9, 10, 11 would be this one, okay? So what we're going to do here, this card is going to be, you know, real similar to what we've been doing, but yet not, okay? What we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and adhere this banner onto the white, and we're going to put it kind of close to the bottom of the banner, kind of centering it on there. And then what we're going to do is we are going to stamp the sentiment right on to the white here. And what I'd like to do in this Impressions of Bloom, I really like the sentiment, I appreciate you. And it's a longer sentiment. It wouldn't fit on my size 11. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on top. Remember I told you, those of you that were watching my page today while I was practicing, I was trying to figure out how I was going to use that sentiment. And by golly, I did it. I figured it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to dry that off. I'm going to just tap it on my pants here. So 1, 2, 3. I'm kind of far away from my, I'm going to clean my stamp because I kind of got, this is a juicier ink pad after working with my old Olive. I might have been a little bit too hard with this one. So go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. And there again, I would highly advise you not to have adhered that on because you don't know if you're going to make a boo-boo or not. So straight down, hold it there for a little bit to let the ink absorb. And woo-wee, woo-wee, I did it. I appreciate you. Now, there again, I'm using strawberry slush, and this would be something that would be the 15% off only for the month of August. So don't think about it long. Go ahead and get your order in before the supplies run out because you just never know. So what I'm trying to decide now is I want to put some flowers on here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the tone on tone. Do you know what that is? It's where you take the same color ink and you stamp it directly onto the cardstock. That's called tone on tone. So we're just going to go ahead and put just a few on here. And what I wanted to do, or what I planned to do, is for every time I stamp first generation, I do a second generation to kind of fill in the sides of, you know, the card base. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more over here. And try to rotate your stamp as you're doing this so that it doesn't look like it's canned. Okay? Okay, so we'll do something like that. Go ahead and wipe off the ink on your chamois pad. Go ahead and close your ink pad. This is strawberry slush, a beautiful, beautiful color, let alone just a beautiful fruit. So let's go ahead and put dimensionals on this now. We haven't used dimensionals tonight. This is the first time. And I did take that virtual scrapbooking retreat where we did 12 months. We did 2 pages for every month. And I learned the importance of using dimensionals because you want your greeting to stay flat. You don't want it to sag or fall in the center. So don't be afraid to use those dimensionals. It just makes it just elevates it to the next level. So let's go ahead and put, I'll get rid of this scratch paper here, and I'll bring out my silicone mat right here. I like to have a dark background, or you can use the lines on your glass mat to kind of help you make sure that it's straight. Okay, so here's our third card that we've made tonight. Looks a little different than our other cards, but I like it just as well. How about you? Are you liking this card? I was going to use that banner. I'll use that probably tomorrow on another card. I think I was going to use that on this one here, but I didn't. I didn't use that banner, and it's even got glue dots on it and everything. I was going to use that on there. So we can use that on another card. So these are the 3 cards that we've made tonight with the party die bundle. And like I said, I highly encourage you to buy the bundle. That number is 165265, and it does cost $125. So it includes the banner dies and the alphabet. We did not do the alphabet letters tonight, but I've done those in previous Zooms. So go to the Tweet Be Happy by Darla Tweeten YouTube channel, and you can catch that live. Just a couple of other samples that I've done. I wanted to I did do this one as an additional sympathy card. I did that on Misty Moonlight with the same DSP. And I also did this I Appreciate You card. I used the same Misty Moonlight and used the same piece of DSP as there. And then I also did a Strawberry Slush card base with the side B of one of these papers. I'm not sure. It might be the back of that one. I'm not sure. But this is all the same DSP. And then inside I carried out the, put a little bit of DSP in there. So that is our cards for tonight. What do you think? I hope I've inspired you, like Nancy inspired me to do these beautiful cards. And they are simple cards, but they pack a punch, don't they? So this is Darla Tweeten. If you like and share and make a comment on this video, I'd really appreciate it. It will stay on Facebook for 30 days, and then after that, it gets deleted by Facebook, but that's okay because it'll also be over on YouTube. So I will see you in 2 weeks for another live video, but keep watching the Tweet Be Happy page because I do daily posts. Sometimes it's about me, my personal life, being at the state fair, or maybe working with our bucket calves, or it could be me playing with a new product or an old product. So whatever you do, do it well and do it kind, and we will see you soon. God bless. Bye now.